Hello, 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 Maguna. How's everybody? Essentially, global talk. Guys, now I'm still hurt. I'm not gonna lie. I'm so hurting at the moment. So, because I think we should have come out of Anfield with a point. At the very least, we should have come out with a draw. But I'm thinking our coach failed us. Like those tactics, they really, really failed us. Um, This is one thing that makes me really, really doubtful now for the season because um, if you if you play one of the top four teams, right, and you show that much respect for them, it's always not gonna go though. Like it's always going to go southwards. Before you know it, something has happened. However, having said that, guys, I think the game was so balanced. I don't think Liverpool was superior in any way, shape, or form. I think we had them where we wanted them. And that was a moment of brilliance, actually. And that free kick, guys, that set piece was one of the best free kicks. Like from 30 yards, beating David Raya, one of the best keepers in the EPL, if not in Europe. You know, you need to take a really good free kick, and that's what Soboslai did. The free kick was brilliant. The free kick was good, and I told my friend during the game, like, you know what, this game is so tight, like it's watertight. It is going to take some moment of brilliance um, for somebody to break this tie because none of the teams was never gonna budge. I'm thinking the first half Arsenal was pretty good. We were good. We were going forward, like we were taking really well. Although there was one um there was one thing that really worried me, you know what I mean? Martinelli, I think we need to sell Martinelli, guys. We need to sell him and make money out of him. He's a good guy. He's a good player, but I'm thinking the Arsenal style of play has outgrown him, has outsmarted him now because the Martinelli that I saw on the weekend is the same Martinelli that I saw 5 years ago when he came in. He would take the ball, he'll put his head down and run all the way until he runs out of pitch. So we don't want to see that. Not today. It's crunch time. We've got a pivot man. We need to play the balls to him. During one of those runs, or maybe a few of those runs that he did when he ran all the way until he ran out of pitch, he had multiple chances of passing the ball. Like if you've got a yard or two in advantage from your man, right? Once you get that chance, pass the ball. Just pass the ball and, you know, let's see if this guy is really a good striker. We know he scored so many goals last season in Europe. He was Europe's top goal scorer, but we want to see if he's really fit for the EPL. So I'm thinking we need to pass him the balls. So that is number one negative that I saw on the game. Um, and the second negative was that I still don't know why Mikel Marino had to start the game whilst we had Martin Odegaard and Eberechi Eze on the bench. Why? Why would somebody tell me why Mourinho would start the game? Look, Mourinho is a good player. He's a good midfielder. But in my opinion, this is the guy that you bring in when you are a goal in advantage and you want to seal the game, right? You want to seal the middle field, and you want those physical players, to go toe to toe with whatever is going on in the middle field, destroy those passes, those 1v1 tackles, those jewels need to be won in the middle field, right? So Mourinho is the best player to bring, in my opinion, to bring in when you are already a game up. Sorry, when you are a goal up in advantage. Because once you score those guys, the first goal early, they're going to have to forget about the low block. The low block goes out the window. They need to come out. They need to attack and try get an equalizer. You know what I mean? And that is where we want them. That is what we want. We want them to come out. We want them to come out of the 18 area because that is where we want, our stuff to start happening. You know what I mean? But if we bring in guys like Mourinho, who, with due respect, are not that creative, like when are you going to get the goals? You've got Martin Odegaard out there. He's our best player. He's our best creative player. Average is was there on the bench as well. Two creative players on the bench against a team that you cannot be a goal down at. And then you have those guys on the bench, and you still expect um, balls to reach Victor Gyökeres. That guy was stuffed of the balls. There was no creativity in the middle field, guys. The middle field was solid when it comes to defense, but creating chances and passes, we were not there. There weren't many passes that went forward. Actually, we had 0 shots at goals, 0 shot at target. We need somebody. Look, Martin Odegaard is our captain. He's the only creative player that we have. I know there are some good players better than him, but he's the only one we have. Why not chuck him in there? You know what I mean? Because, nowadays, guys, we've got the VAR, okay? The VAR has made things even more difficult for strikers, even midfielders, because you can't be the offside trap. Okay, you've got, oh my goodness, it is not easy. You need to time the pass so that you beat the VAR. The striker will have to time their runs as well so that they beat the VAR. So the two of you should be on sync. You know what I mean? So you'll need somebody who's practiced that, who's practiced the whens, the hows, and the ifs, at training, and then do that on the pitch. So I don't think Mourinho practices that kind of stuff when he's there. No, 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 no. All he does is he does his tackles. He makes sure that he seals the middle field. He makes sure that he runs forward. You know what I mean? To make sure he puts more pressure. He has more numbers up front, physically, aerially, and stuff like that. But when it comes to those defense splitting passes that we need, Mikel Marino cannot do that. Ebrecht can do that. Martin Odegaard can do that. So, which means our chances of scoring an early goal, they went out the window straight away. Okay. So, technically, I think that's where we failed. I think that's where we failed. Okay. So, we should have done better. Should have really done better. I mean, had we had a guy like one of those guys, Bob would have been our uncle. I think we would have gotten 1 or 2 chances, overhead defense splitting passes, or maybe somebody, not Martinelli, who would cross the ball early onto our pivot man, and then somebody who would do almost the same thing as Noni Madueke. That is one guy that I want to talk about. Noni Madueke was good, in my opinion. He's fine. He's not gonna be as good as Bukayo Saka, but I'm not gonna panic if Saka is injured. And I'm thinking this is good because the reason why Saka got injured last season, guys, was because he was being overplayed. This time it was just unfortunate that he got that injury. You know what I mean? Because the guy works so hard, like he tracks back all the time, and you're bound to get those kind of injuries. So we need to make sure that that starvation, of balls forward. It gets sorted really, really soon. Okay, really, really soon. Because we're not gonna go into the second phase that is after the international break with that kind of play. No, no, no. It is not good. It's not good enough. Okay, guys. And then one thing that I also wanted to talk about was that we are not on the right side of the injuries. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Injuries. Only 3 years, I mean, sorry, three weeks into the season, we've lost some of our best players. But having said that, we've done a lot of depth signing, especially when it comes to defense. Let me see. We've got Timber, Ben White. We've got Saliba, Mangalis, Christian Masquera. You know what? When I talk about this guy, there's always a smile on my face. Masquera. I like him. Yeah. And then we got Miles Lewis Kelly. So, and again, I like the way um, Calafiori gets inverted into the middle field. He played really well as well. He's one of those guys going forward. He can create chances. He can take on players. He's physical. He's good on the ball. Yeah, I think I like the way Mikel Arteta does it from the defense all the way until the center line. But after that, guys, we will lose it. I don't know. I don't know what happens. There's lack of cohesion. You know, guys don't know what they're doing sometimes. Not them actually. Mikel Arteta, he doesn't know how to get the best out of those players. We've got good players. We can create chances, but we just can't finish them off because with the EPL, you need to be ruthless. You need to put away those chances because yeah, it's tight. It's tight. Like if you get half a chance, make sure that you make the best out of it. Make a meal out of it because somebody's gonna do the same on the opposite end of the pitch, and you'll be crying. So yeah, that was the little thing that is being worrying me, guys, this whole week. You know what I mean? Our tactics when it comes to the final third, we're still not there yet, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Um, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share my videos, guys. So this is a very, very new channel. I'm hoping I'll grow up with you. I'm hoping to get more subscribers. Hoping I'll be talking to more people on this channel. I've got lots of stuff coming up. Okay, so see you next time. I'm out. Bye bye.